name this countdown between this screen at all times. So I have a brand new scene named countdown right here, and I'm going to add a new countdown timer source, which is going to be a text GDI plus. So if you just name this countdown timer, and we're going to be able to change some settings on screen. So what you want to do once you're here is click on the file path to read from file, timer, and we're going to count or whatever you want to name it, because this is going to be the easiest way, because you want to jump back and forth between this screen at all times. So I have a brand new scene named countdown right here, and I'm going to add a new countdown timer source, which is going to be a text GDI plus. So if you just name this countdown timer, and we're going to be able to change some settings on screen. So what you want to do once you're here is click on the file path to read from file, click browse, enter in your file name in the file path, click open, and your file will open, and you can see that your timer is counting down currently on screen. Now there's a couple of other settings you can change here, such as the font if you wish. You can change it to whatever kind of font you want. You can change the color, the opacity, the size. If you come up here to select font on the right hand side, you can change the actual size, or if you come up to the top, you can change it to whatever size font you want. So for 100, for example, and you can change it like that. Now, if you are trying to change the size of it, I would recommend changing it with the font rather than dragging the little boxes on the side, because when you change it with the font, it actually scales it up, whereas when you drag it with the corners on the box on screen, it can affect the quality and it's stretching the pixels rather than just changing the actual default text size. So if you ever want to change it, simply come back in here and click select font and just change the font size right here. So now that we've set the actual countdown timer, let's go back into SNAS and let's show you how to set up the count up timer if you want to do the opposite of this. So now that we're back in SNAS, we're going to be going to the second little tab here, and we're going to be going up to Chronos, and we're going to be taking our attention down here to Chrono up. And this is what we're going to be looking for in particular. Here we're going to be able to set up our timer to go upwards. So what you can do is you can actually set your time that you've currently done. So if you've already done 14 hours, 15 minutes and 26 seconds, what you can do is you can set this in here and you can select how often you've been streaming, or you can set it to 0 if you wish by simply clicking this box on the side. You can select your pre-date format down here with a couple of different presets. And we can finally down here select start, which is going to start streaming up our time. Very similar to like we did with the countdown, we can grab our text path over here and simply repeat the process that I've showed you previously. As you can tell, our countdown timer is counting up, and we can click stop at any time if we wish. Now, of course, if you are streaming with OBS, you are going to have to leave SNAS open if you wish the timer to continue. But if you want to close it down once you're done, of course, you can. and do that. But it's a really light software on your CPU and PC, so it's really easy to leave open in the background, and it's really, really easy to set up alongside OBS. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, be sure to drop...
Lara Croft beats really massive, huge, gargantuan jumps like this.
What is up, guys? My name is Pete from the Gaming Careers YouTube channel, and today we're going to be looking at OBS Studio again, and specifically how you add sources to OBS Studio and the terminology. If you look down in the bottom left, you can see that we can have multiple different scenes in our OBS window. A scene is basically a collection of sources, so you could have different scenes for different games if you're a variety streamer, or you could have maybe one which just has your webcam and chat on for if you're in between queues. And if you go into your video options from within the game and see what you have selected for display mode, that should pop up should say capture any. It can be useful to test this option if you're having some sort of FPS issues. I actually leave it unchecked because I've got quite a good computer, but I have used it in the past when I've had a worse system. The capture cursor option does exactly as it says, allows you to be able to capture your mouse. Now there's a lot of debate around the use anti-cheat compatibility.